I'm Tim Hazel. I'm the head coach for Paralympic Archery in Great Britain, and today we're going to talk about disabled archery. The technique and skills for coaching a disabled archer are basically the same as coaching an able-bodied archer, with a few exceptions. You have to take into consideration pain, physiology and limited range of movement. Balance can also be a big issue in the final outcome of that archer's technique. There are no hard and fast rules when coaching a disabled archer. You need to talk to that archer, get to know the archer well before you act and lay hands on that archer. Being able to replicate body position in archery is very, very important. It increases consistency and performance. The use of carefully placed reference points on a wheelchair can utilise the areas on an archer's body that still allow feedback through nerves or sensation. This helps replicate body position every time they go to shoot. We have to look at getting that archer to the line, including all their kit. The archer generally stays on the line because of difficulties getting on and off on different surfaces. The collection of the arrows, the archer usually has someone to collect those arrows, whether it be another archer or friend. And finally, and the most important, is that you need, as a coach, to make sure you know that archer's disability and get to know that person and their condition very well before you coach them. Posture is just as important for disabled archers as for able-bodied competitors, as it helps to attain correct alignment and prevent execution errors. The length of a recurve bow can sometimes pose issues for an archer in a wheelchair who uses one for the first time. You will see he sits forward and actually activates his core muscles. This brings his body into alignment, and it also brings the lower limb of the bow off the floor. This is the correct posture to use in a wheelchair if you can attain this with the archer's disability. We have to work within the rules of para archery, from the back of the chair handle to the underside of the armpit. At full draw, there must be 11.5 centimeters. Also at the front end, when the string is actually released on shot, there must be no contact between the bowstring and any part of the wheelchair. An able-bodied archer can rotate through the hips and the torso. In a disabled archer, this can be limited due to the disability and the condition of that person. It could be through having metalwork screwed to the spine or fused vertebrae, etc. The wheelchair has to be positioned on the line correctly to give that archer the best position and stance, because the wheelchair in effect becomes the lower half of the body and the foundations of the shot. To summarise, here are a few of the key points for coaching an archer with a disability. You have to start at the bottom, again, with the stance. In this case, it'll be the wheelchair position, then it'll be the posture of the archer himself, and then through to the shot. You must remember to talk to that archer because they have a pain limitation, they have a disability that you don't know about. It may not be a visible disability. It's a physiological or a skeletal one. You really need to find out about that archer before you do anything else. You must be prepared to adapt to each situation and each archer as it comes along, and treat that archer as just an archer. Today we've only covered an archer in a wheelchair. Of course, there are other disabilities out there that you will come across in your coaching career. Please treat everybody exactly the same and apply all the rules that you've just heard to those guys as well.